Hi, it's me. It's been a long time, but I am back with another video. Today I'm looking at job description and trying to point out where I think there is a hint that the company sucks, the company culture sucks, or the job sucks. When you're applying for a job, you don't want to apply for a job that has a sucky culture. And how can you know if a job sucks just by the job description? Well, I'm going to explain in this video. So first, please subscribe. I'm going to be uploading a ton more videos on the job search and how to navigate getting a new job, plus some video feedback on resume reviews. So if you're looking for a job, this is a channel for you.
Let's get back to work.
Get back to work, Mr. Squidward.
America is back to work.
I've pulled up a few job descriptions that have some obvious signs in my mind that the job isn't worth applying to. The job titles I've chosen are from Forbes' top best jobs on the market. So let's take a look. I have a tax manager role remote. The first thing I noticed is that there's only 2 reviews for the company, so that's a pretty small company. Most law companies are going to be small. And scrolling down on the job description, first you get a little paragraph about the company, obviously a small company, and the position duties. And you know what's missing from this? The qualifications for the role and the benefits from the role. So what does that mean about the company? Well, they obviously have a need on a team, but it's not a clearly defined role. And this seems like it was an existing role, not a new role. So someone had this role and they quit, found a new job, maybe they got fired. But this role encompasses a lot of tasks, so that's someone that's working a lot, picking up for coworkers slack probably, and a small company culture, so they're not going to have the best health insurance. There are large financial companies that need a ton of tax managers as well as independent tax services. Obviously, if you're into the seasonal work, that's an opportunity, but you can get a tax manager role at a company that's going to offer great insurance and has clearly defined job duties. So I wouldn't necessarily apply to this if I were a tax manager. I pulled this up from Red Canary, which seems to be a startup, and you see startups do this all the time. I think it's kind of funny, but they have this ubiquitous job description posted saying, hey, we're growing. We want more people on the team. Do you think you would be a good fit for the team? So you might find this on your job search when you're looking through job description. And it's kind of enticing at first. Like, yeah, I am looking for a job. And sure, I could be interested in a cyber attack company. But the company isn't just posting to get a ton of useless resumes. They're putting this out there in hopes that someone who is not actively on the job search that has specifically cyber attack experience might see it and might apply. This is called passive recruiting in that we are always hiring. So they have a job description posted, but it doesn't mean they're hiring for your skills or experience. So the only reason I would apply to this job based on the job description would be if I were coming from a company that had a cyber attack background. And really, that would be the only reason I would apply. Because if I am new in my career, I'm just hoping to be picked out of the stack of hay by applying to this. And if I'm seasoned without that cyber attack experience, it's like I'm hoping that they're hiring for a role, but they're not hiring for a role, or else they would list a role that they're hiring for. So if you see these, there's a chance that it's not worth your time applying. Looking at this head of live operations, I pulled this one out. I will admit that I know about the company. So whenever you see this layout where it says who we're looking for, and it's a really specific layout, they have a little doo-doo-doo down here. That's because they're using an applicant tracking system. Most companies and startups honestly have applicant tracking systems so that they can keep all that information secure, as well as in the future search through resumes for candidates so they can call them up and see if they're still interested in the company. It also makes the hiring process easier because it connects with HR so that all your data from the application process is moved over to the employment realm really easy. It's always a good sign that a company is using an applicant tracking system because they care about hiring the right people, and companies that care about hiring the right people tend to work harder to keep those people around. Now, looking at the skills job description, you say, hey, this is a great layout. This company is spending money on hiring, but let's actually look at the description about skills. The first part of this, minus Indeed's guesstimation on the salary, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs are all about the company. I have 2 other paragraphs that aren't about the company if I don't include the bulleted points, but that means that the company wants you to care more about the company than the job itself. This to me is kind of a sign of a company that doesn't have a great company culture if they have to talk about all of the professional accolade and they don't list anything about benefits down here, healthcare, or anything. And I would also look side-eyed at this company because they're expecting 8 years of experience for a guesstimation of $84,000 in California. Just as reference, most recruiters are making $70,000 to $80,000 in California if they're working internal in a company. So this is a head leadership position that's hiring just as much as a recruiter at Google. To be honest, that's not very impressive. And skills is a great opportunity for me to point something out. Now, I know all of us have that one friend that says, I know we all have that one friend that says, I always pick the right job because I read the Indeed and Glassdoor reviews. So yeah, and Skills is a great example as to why you can't really trust the reviews on Indeed. Skills is a software company. It's a quote startup company. It's not a store. If you look at the reviews and you look at the employee title, I see, what would be a startup. A lot more of these reviews down here are for in-store part-time sales associates that are giving them 5 ratings. But if you look at the actual employees that are working within the company, you see a different picture. But I'll talk about this later in the video too. Another example I have is this iOS/Android developer role posted online. If you are a mobile designer, you know the difference between iOS and Android and why they're two different skill sets. But if you don't know, someone who can make iPhone applications is not the same kind of developer as someone that makes an Android application. It's a different foundation framework. You know what I'm saying? So a company saying that they're open to someone that can work either or, that sounds like a startup company to me that needs to build a mobile version of their product, and they just need to get people in the seat. So let's look at the job description. It's just basically the qualifications is what I'm seeing. And the qualifications are not even that high. 2 years of non-internship programming experience plus a computer science degree. It's saying nothing about the company or the company perks or the job duties. So this is going to be a job where you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders for maybe not the amount of pay that the responsibility is giving you. They're going to expect you to learn iOS or Android if you don't already know. And if you can't keep up, they can afford to let you go any moment. So this is a job I would consider kind of a chance. Even being contract, obviously contracts can get cut anytime, but companies don't contracts early unless they need to, because it costs money to find someone new. If I had mobile design experience, I would only take this job if I had a weak resume, but this just seems risky to me, even if they're paying $70 per hour. Another job I have pulled up is a marketing general interest talent community, SEZZLE. Looking at this job description, I see another company that talks 4 paragraphs about themselves before they talk about the company. They give a little bit about perks. This is the first one we've seen so far to talk about 401k, but they don't really talk about the job at all or the job description. They talk a lot about the company and what it does and what they can give you, but they have an actual job title posted, so there is a job there. They just don't really have it defined. I really wouldn't bother with this. It seems like the company doesn't have a system set up in a organized way. It seems like they're hiring because they're growing, but not because they have a specific goal for that hire. So your future there really wouldn't be hard to define and maybe unclear for quite some time. I actually looked at the company, says they're about to be sold to another company, so it makes sense why they can't define a job because they're, a growing, changing company. But I personally would skip this job description for that reason. This next job, I pulled up an electrical engineer job in Washington, D.C. Why did I pull this up? Well, okay, we have nothing about the company here. We have a little bit about the job and no benefits, which all that's screaming to me that they don't really have a defined path for this job. The career path isn't well defined. The team isn't organized. But then I look at who is hiring. U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration. This is a government role, and these government roles are kind of known for being sucky. Why? Well, there's not that much career projection, the pay isn't that great, and your job isn't any more stable just because it's with the government. So I would only apply to this if I, for some reason, had a weaker resume. Maybe if I were junior in my career, or I was trying to switch careers. I got some vocational education in electrical engineering. I would go for this kind of job, but if I had any sort of decent resume experience, I would say, no, I'm going to skip that. I know the government is kind of whack to work for. I have a full stack developer role pulled up here. Everyone's dream, a remote developer role, right? Well, looking, I see nothing about the company. I see nothing about the benefits, and I see nothing about the job duties. I see a ton of qualifications, and they want someone with at least 7 years of experience. The thing about the full stack, right? Let's see what they mean by full stack. They mean front-end development, probably web development. They mean back-end development. They want someone that has .NET, cloud automation experience, networking and server experience. So let me translate this to you. There's 3 hires for this role. They want 3 engineers who can do it all. 3 engineers who can do it all. They can build the platform or the app. They can build the back-end data organization. They can build the automation and handle the web services. And they want 3 of those people. So I would assume that this is a very small company that has an idea that they're trying to build, but they can't build it themselves. So they're trying to hire people on the team. The full stack developer is a unicorn role. It's super hard to find people who have experience in all of these things and in a balanced way. So any role that says full stack means that they want a unicorn candidate. You'll probably get to work on different levels of the company or the project or the platform, whatever it may be. But just know what you're getting into. There's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders with this role. They kind of expect you to do it all. Next, I have a insurance sales representative. A sales manager is one of the top 50 jobs listed by Forbes that have, best pay, job satisfaction, and career growth. So I just threw that in here, and I have pulled up Alton Martin Farmers Insurance. Interesting to know there are a lot of companies that are sales companies that will be part of a larger company and have their own individual branches. So this is what Farmers does. Alton Martin is a guy who was an insurance agent that sold enough to be able to hire people onto his team so he can train them. So that's what this role is. Looking down at the job description, we see responsibilities, requirements. It's looking better than normal. We even have the perks. So let's go dig in. What is the company about? Well, this first paragraph is honestly a sales paragraph. Are you looking to start your career in sales today? Break into the insurance industry? Obviously, they're trying to sell the job to you. Anytime a job description tries too hard to sell the job to you, there's something fishy about it. And this whole paragraph really goes into it. So I'm wondering, is this job good enough for me to apply? Let's go look at some of the responsibility and requirements. The responsibilities include meeting business goals and objective as established, outward solicitation, develop quotas, treat each customer and contact as a sell up opportunity. So this is a hustler role, I gotta say. Definitely someone that's gonna go out there, get their friends, their family, their cousin's cousin, everyone to sign up for this farmer's insurance to meet the production goals. And looking at the requirements, all the requirements I see are soft skills like willingness to learn, goal orientedness, and great listening skills, but no years of experience. So this is the kind of job that you step in that you don't need any experience for except for drive. You need some intense drive and hustle. For 40 to 60,000, that means 40,000 is the base and your commissions could go up to 60,000. And this salary really does show how much of a hustler role it is. You probably want to get past this insurance sales representative before you make any significant money. So know that before you apply to the job. This is a hustler job, not for the faint of heart. Looking at this HR integration business partner, HR is another one of the top 50 roles that Forbes listed. And guess what I see? Absolutely nothing about the company. I see no job description. I see no duty description or qualifications. All I see is come here and enjoy our culture. So obviously there's a big flub up on this job description and post. Now I personally would click apply on the company website and see if the job is posted. There is a chance that the ATS system just messed up and it was supposed to have this huge long description and nothing pulled up. Oopsie daisies. But this isn't always a bad sign. I wanted to pull it up because it is questionable. I would take the few seconds to go to the company website. Indeed won't let me go without signing in, and I'm not trying to sign into Indeed for this. But I will move on to Grassroots Manager, New Mexico. First thing that we see about this job post is that it's a giant paragraph and I just keep scrolling. All I see is ACS everywhere, but I am a little prejudiced here. I wouldn't even bother with this job because the company didn't bother to change this paragraph into something readable. So they probably don't have organized hiring system. They probably don't dedicate that much time to hiring. Maybe they have people coming to them often. Maybe they have a pipeline from college graduates that go work for the company after graduation, but they clearly don't have to try that hard to hire people. Maybe they're working with third-party recruiters and just biting the bullet on paying those fees, but They clearly don't have to work that hard to hire people themselves. So that is the primary reason that I would skip. But if you want to look at things particularly, we do have major responsibilities. As you can tell, I don't want to read this, but this job doesn't seem very well defined. It seems like a really chaotic company. And to be honest, the American Cancer Society does sound like some place that's super bureaucratic and has a lot of layers of unnecessarily slow processes or unnecessary waste of time. I wouldn't apply to this job. Maybe it's just this location in New Mexico, but I wouldn't apply to this job. And of course, I don't want to just pick on Indeed. So I have a Craigslist post. Now, this is for a solution architect. They get paid the most on that Forbes list. They get paid on average more than a physician, like $157,000. I think that's relatively low. This role can make more like $200,000. So they make a ton of money, and this role is only part-time. This is the first time I've ever seen a part-time solutions architect role. I know there's some super senior engineers that are like, oh, that's me. I'll totally do that. So let's look at the company description to make a better guess. The first sentence talks about how they have offices in Chicago and the Philippines. To be honest, every single tech company that I've worked with that has offices in America and overseas in Asia primarily, these companies will hire a lot of the junior engineers in Asia and then hire the senior engineers in America. And those are really frustrating because it takes a long time to become a senior engineer, and it's kind of hard for junior engineers to get experience to those senior roles. And seeing that the position is part-time, it seems like this company is really tight on money and they have a lot of big goals that they want to reach. Looking at the responsibilities and the technical experience, they want someone that can do the full stack kind of stuff, some SQL, some HTML, some API, and they want legitimate experience in all those things. For a part-time role with part-time hours, this is a hard to hire role, and I can see why. Anyone with this kind of experience could probably go to some place that A, isn't just making someone else's goals to come true. They can lead forward ideas that they may contribute to the company. Or B, they can get a full-time role with like benefits, not on contract, with a better work environment. They could start their own thing, but the amount of knowledge and experience that they want is really high, especially for the amount that they want to pay. So if I had this kind of experience, I wouldn't bother applying to this job. Maybe even if I was only looking for part-time, just because it seems like that they want someone to come fix their problems and you don't get to have like the fun of creation. But if my resume were weak, let's say I was out of a job for a year or two, then maybe I would give this a try because I need something on my resume. Going on to another Craigslist job, DevOps is a top 5 jobs listed for best jobs in America. And this is a really bad job description. I don't see anything about the qualifications, the job duties, the benefits. I don't see anything about the company. They're talking about chat box platforms and Cisco WebEx on contract. I would only apply to this job if I were fresh out of college trying to get DevOps experience, or I had a super weak resume, but if they're not going to have benefits listed, it's on contracts, there are no benefits. If they're not going to talk about qualifications, then they're willing to take whoever kind of has experience because they can't really afford to be specific on who they want to hire. So this will probably be a role that they might hire someone that is less experienced, hoping that they will work extra hard to catch up on the team. That's not the kind of job I want to work necessarily. I don't want to have to go into a role where I'm going to be underwater half the time. So I really wouldn't apply to this role. The next and last role I have pulled up is a junior to mid-level back-end engineer. Now, we've looked at a ton of job descriptions, so what do you think is wrong with this description? Well, number one, I don't see too much about the company. It is, quote, agency. I don't see any specific qualifications, and I don't see any benefit. This is a part-time role. Now, junior to mid-level back-end engineer, this could be a great role for someone out of college or someone trying to get work experience back on their resume, but this is a company that needs help in the back end. They don't need to have specific qualification of years because they just need someone on the team to help. There's a lot of work going on, so they're putting out a role for extra support. There is no career growth in this opportunity. They're probably not going to hire you on full time, or else they would just hire for a full time position. This is clearly helping to handle either a loss of a team member or an increase in the company. When I'm interviewing for this role, if I applied, I would ask specifically, is this a new role? Is this compensating for a lack of support? Or is this because of new business? Really find out if someone left them high and dry or not. People don't leave a job high and dry unless there was a reason in their mind too. There was some sort of vengeance they needed to take out. I mean, sometimes it'll happen. They'll get a new job and then just piece later, but really if they're hurting because someone quit the job, then maybe that person had a bad experience in the job, and take more note to find out what that could be. But like I said early in the video, a lot of people really believe these Indeed reviews for companies. So I want to teach you how to really look at these reviews. First, I have pulled up TikTok with a 3.5-star rating. Now, you might say, hey, that's almost 5. Well, no, it's not. The best companies on Indeed have 4 and up stars, and anything under 3 is considered real bad. And I would say that TikTok is one of those companies that's kind of tricking you on that rating of 3.5. If you come here and look at the job titles again, student worker rates at 0.4. That sounds like someone who was an intern, not actually working at the company. Down here we have content creator, not really working at the company. President, probably a content creator, not really working at the company. But if I go to the top, I can see marketing executive. That's an executive. That's a leadership role. 1 star. Technical product manager. That's also more of a management role. 1 star. Risk investigator. 2 star. Brand partner, 1 star. Content monitor, 1 star. Operation manager, 2 star. This is not a good place to work. And the average job seeker might say 3.5. Well, those must be startup reviews from when they were younger. No, it's because all the content creators are leaving reviews for some reason. Maybe they want that free year of access from Indeed, but you don't really work at the company if you're a content creator. So really look at those reviews to see what the company is like. I have pulled up Dyson. Now, everyone loves Dyson vacuums. Everyone wants a Dyson hairdryer. But looking at the company rating, 2.9. That's below the dreaded 3. That means that it's real bad. Let's scroll down and look at some of these reviews. Wow, I see 5 star, 4 star, 5 star. Oh my God, maybe a 3. What's happening? 4 star? What I wanted to say about this, companies will often incentivize current employees to leave good reviews. They will offer a $50 gift certificate if you leave a review of the company on their Glassdoor. And look at all these current employees are leaving some of the best reviews. Former employee leaves a 3 star, so does the former employee. Employers cannot pay Glassdoor to remove the bad reviews, and they cannot pay Glassdoor to create fake reviews, but they can incentivize current employees to leave good reviews to help fix a poor reputation. And any current employee will probably rate their current company pretty well. The company will find out if you left a bad review. It's a psychological trick, but I would definitely keep that in mind when you look at these reviews, because of course I would want to work at Dyson. I want a free Dyson hairdryer, so maybe I would see this 2.9 and say, look, 2022 and 2021 are the higher rated ones, and 3 years ago it was rated more poorly. Well, that could be because in 2021 and 22 they wanted better ratings on their Glassdoor, so they incentivize employees to do so. But most importantly, with these Glassdoor reviews, you just want to learn how to read them for your benefit. So I have CompuCom, 3-point-star rating, but looking at the job descriptions and the ratings, I see someone had great people to work for and they really liked the position. But scrolling down, I see words like decent stepping stone, not that great, okay, another great stepping stone even at that 4 star. And right here on this 1 star review, it says, pro, a good place to start your career. That's exactly what I'm seeing from these reviews. It's an okay place to work, but clearly it's a great place to start your career. So if you're going to think that you're cheating the system and reading the Glassdoor reviews for your benefit, learn how to read them correctly and just pull out some of the keywords and compare them to the stars. So it's not the place I want to stay at for all of my career, but it's a good start. And that's the end of my video. Thanks for checking this video out. I am back to making videos for this channel. Sorry that I've been absent for so long, but I miss talking about the job hunt and recruiting with people, so I wanted to make another one for you. I have another resume review coming up, so please subscribe to this channel. You can get a look. I want to know in the comments below, what kind of jobs are you applying to? What job titles? So I can do another one of these videos specifically for the kind of jobs that you, my viewers, are trying to get out there. Good luck on the job search. I know that it's hard and you're doing a great job. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.